Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BadgerBeat.com. Rob Hernandez alongside Jason Galloway, who fills in for Jim Polzine as he winds his way back reluctantly from the Bahamas in the battle for Atlantis men's basketball tournament. Jason's going to break down the Badgers' big win today over the Minnesota Golden Gophers, retains the axe for the Badgers, and sends them into the Big Ten championship game. And Jason, the first thing we always do here is give out a game ball, and tell you what, never thought I'd see us give out a game ball to a wide receiver, but the Badgers' junior wide receiver Alex Erickson gets one.
Yeah, Erickson was one of the most important players in this game. I mean, we saw early in the game Minnesota sending their safeties toward the line of scrimmage, putting 8, 9 in the box every single play. And Erickson's big plays really helped stretch the defense out. He had a 70-yard touchdown, drew a couple long pass interference penalties. Like I said, 160 yards total. I think those big plays led to the plays you saw from Clement, the 28-yard touchdown.
Right.
It opened up things for Gordon, and it helped this offense come from behind after they were down 14.
So Alex Erickson with the game ball off of this win here over the Gophers. Time for some thumbs up and thumbs down. Thumbs up today, defensive side of the ball, a playmaking linebacker.
Yeah, I gave it to Marcus Trotter. He led the team with 14 tackles, and look, this defense had their back against the wall. They gave up 2 early touchdowns, didn't have the field position in their favor, and they responded. They
sure did.
UW scored 24 straight points. They held them scoreless for more than a span of 2 quarters. And Trotter was a big reason why that happened. And
one of the snapshot moments out of this ball game will be Marcus Trotter taking Paul Bunyan's axe up into the student section. So he even had a hand in the celebration. Jason, thumbs down today. A person on special teams, Kenzel Doe, has had his ups and downs this year, but today a couple of big plays kind of cost him, and he gets your thumbs down.
Yeah, he got my thumbs down. There wasn't a whole lot of thumbs down going around. Obviously it was a bad start for UW, but
right.
Doe did have a couple nice returns here and there. But I mean, the fumble that he had on the first punt was just so crucial. It allowed Minnesota to gain all the momentum early on. It kind of set the tone for the first part of that game and really got UW in a hole. And he also muffed a punt later in the fourth quarter. He recovered it, ended up not mattering, but he's going to get he got my thumbs down today.
All right. Tough thing to hand out there in a pinch hitting role, but Kenzel Doe gets it. Jason, time to check out how people are going to see this win by the Badgers entering next week's game in Indianapolis. Let's start first with how the Badgers will see it. Obviously, they got to see it in a very positive light. They're back in a Big Ten title game.
Yeah, they're going to look at this as, we overcame adversity for the 3rd straight game now. They were down 14 against Nebraska 2 weeks ago, had their back against the wall against Iowa in a close game on the road, and they come back from 14 down again today. And they're going to look at this as, when everything was on the line, the team came through. They won the axe. It was senior day, won the Big Ten West division. So they got to be feeling really confident going into next week.
How are the fans going to see this one, Jason, besides the fact that next Badger Family Fun Day, the axe will be there for them to touch again?
Yeah, that's true. They're going to see this as they see this team now as a completely different team than they saw early in the season, I think. That Northwestern game, since then, obviously they've won 7 straight games. The passing game continues to improve every single game, and we saw it today with Joel Stavi being able to pass the ball downfield and keep the defense honest. And obviously the defense is playing like one of the best in the Big Ten as well. So I think fans are going to be pretty confident going into next week too. I think they're going to think they have a real shot at Ohio State.
And most importantly, how did the pollsters see this one? Obviously we're talking 2 different sets of polls now. The AP poll will probably move them up, but that college football playoff poll or the rankings will be very interesting to watch here. Not only this week, but if they can somehow pull off the upset against Ohio State, who knows where this team could go?
That's true. I mean, it seems like a long shot right now to make the college football playoff, but a lot of crazy things can happen. There are a lot of one-loss teams that could potentially lose next week still, and UW's only got 2 losses. A win against a ranked opponent today is obviously going to be impressive, and if they're able to go into next week and beat Ohio State, the number 6 team in the country, or number 7, depending on what poll you look at, then they'll definitely be way up there in the top 10. Whether they can get in the top 4 or not, that seems like a real long shot. But I think J.T. Barrett's injury probably hurts Wisconsin's chances in that regard, because if they beat an Ohio State team without J.T. Barrett, the pollsters might look at this and say, well, maybe it's not quite as impressive as if they had their starting quarterback.
Well, we'll see how that plays out next week in Indianapolis, and then again when the bowl selections are made following the Big Ten championship game. Well, that's the Badger Breakdown for the Badgers' big win over Minnesota here on Senior Day at Camp Randall. For Jason Galloway, I'm Rob Hernandez. Thanks for watching Badger Beat.